What's going on, guys? Mike, aka Crypto Jewels. We're going to do a DMTR Dimitra video update. The last time I did this video, we were just bouncing off of this zone here and looking pretty decent. With our bounce, we have got rejected at the about 50. About the 0.5 retracement level as of right now, and potentially looking to head down. So from a macro standpoint, what we've got here is we've got this large impulsive structure right here off of the low, which is potentially indicating a trend reversal from this nasty long, just basically straight line down from when this thing launched in the bear market to when it bottomed down here. Huge impulse off of the low, which can indicate a trend reversal, meaning that this thing is not going to make a lower low, and the impulsive direction should be upwards, or at least maybe in a corrective manner upwards. But either way, it indicates that we should be looking for higher with price. So from an Elliott Wave standpoint, what we have here is we've got a one wave impulse with a potential flat corrective structure being this A, B, C here. So this A, B, and then possibly a C, and then a new impulsive structure up from there. So ultimately, that's what we're looking for. But how do we know what this thing is going to do? And to answer the question, we don't. All we can do is just kind of play it level by level and understand what Elliott Wave says about flat structures in order for us to get an idea of where the potential pivot points could be and where the potential levels of interest are. So with a flat structure in Elliott Wave, you can have a running flat, a regular flat, or an expanded flat. The way this is right now, this would be a running flat, because the C wave, if this bottomed here, this would be a running flat because your C wave is above your A. If we come down and get down to the 1618 retracement level, fib extension level, that would be technically an expanded flat. And if we came down and made a lower, just a double bottom, that would be a regular flat. So those are the areas of interest of where we would anticipate price to potentially go, which, if this is a running flat, the 1236 fib level has hit, which would be which would indicate that it is a running flat. Or if we break below and make that lower low, my assumption is we go down to the bottom end of that range. So once we do bottom, I anticipate a fairly significant bounce from here. If this is the bottom here, we could potentially go to a three wave, which would be a 10,000% gain, or potentially a fifth wave, which would be a 38,000% gain. There's also the other area, which would be this pivot point, which is if this is just one large A, B, C, and then we reverse there. That's also a possibility that we'll have to look out for, but that is still a 2,000 to 3,000% gain either way. So diving into the weeds here a little bit. Again, what we've got, the way I'm counting this, is an impulsive structure up 1, 2, 3, 4 with an extended 5, and then an A, B, and then what could be a completed corrective structure, which would actually be 1, 2. I took this count off, 3, 4, 5, and that would put our C in. Or, as we can see, that the current count I have is that this is actually a 1, 2, a 3, which if it which would mean that we would need a 4 and then a 5 before we bottom. So really, depending on this structure here is looking like a 4 wave. If it is a 4 wave, let's see, it retraced It wicked above 50% retracement of 2-wave, which is a deep 4. But this was a pretty explosive extended 3-wave down. So a deep 4 wouldn't technically be out of the ordinary with how big of a drop we had and how quickly we did drop. So this structure here of 1, 2, 3, 4 is more likely probably what's going to play out. And then we would follow this, roughly this count here, which would be our 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And right now I'm anticipating a bottom around 2.7 cents or so if this count follows through this way. The other scenario would be that this is an ABC and that this is actually a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and that this is some sort of a funky 1-wave with an A, B, and then this would be actually a WXY is what it would be, which would probably be a flat structure again, but I don't really like the look of it. It looks a little odd, but if it is, it would be an A, B, C, and the target would be around 36 cents or so. So those are really the levels I'm looking at. Again, is this 36.036, 3.5 cent level, and then down to roughly 2.5 cents. So I think if this level here is broken and sustained below, then more than likely we'll drop down to the 2.5 cent zone. And then that should complete our C-wave structure and possibly put in our 2-wave. So this entire thing would look like this. You would have your 1, A, B, C, and then start a new impulse up. So that's kind of what I'm anticipating, what I'm looking for right now. But let's play it by ear and see what happens. See y'all later.